You've probably heard of Bitcoin. It's the original cryptocurrency, the one that started it all back in 2009. Since then, it's gained global fame, made headlines, and sparked a whole new financial revolution. But here's the thing. Bitcoin was built at a different time, for a different world. The world has changed. Technology has changed. And what people need from a digital currency has changed too. That's where Pi Network comes in. Unlike most other cryptocurrencies, Pi isn't just trying to be the next Bitcoin. It's doing something very different and much more powerful. It's being built with ordinary people in mind. It's built for people like you and me, not just tech experts or wealthy investors. In this video, we'll break everything down in a simple, easy-to-understand way. We're not going to throw confusing jargon or advanced tech talk at you. Instead, we'll walk through the big picture, how Pi works, why it matters, and what makes it so different and potentially better than Bitcoin. We'll talk about how it uses far less energy, how anyone can get involved just by using a phone, how it's being designed for real-world use, and how it gives people a voice in shaping its future. Whether you've never mined a single coin in your life or you're already part of the Pi community, this video will help you clearly see the incredible potential of Pi Network. Let's start this journey by imagining a future where money is easy, fair, and available to everyone, no matter where they live or how much they earn. A future where digital money works with the tap of a phone. That future might be closer than you think. Let's dive in. Let's start with one of the most important, and often overlooked, differences between Pi Network and Bitcoin. Energy usage. Bitcoin mining is extremely powerful, but it comes with a huge cost. Electricity. In fact, mining Bitcoin today uses more electricity than some small countries. Why? Because it relies on a system called proof of work, where computers compete to solve complex puzzles. These machines are loud, hot, and always running. They consume a lot of energy, 24/7. That means Bitcoin mining is not just expensive, it's also very bad for the environment. It creates tons of carbon emissions, contributes to climate change, and puts pressure on global power grids. In fact, one Bitcoin transaction can use as much energy as an average household does in several days. Now let's compare that to Pi Network. Pi uses a completely different and modern approach called Stellar Consensus Protocol. It doesn't need massive mining farms or special equipment. In fact, you can mine Pi using nothing more than your smartphone. That's right. You just tap a button once a day and you're participating in the network. Your phone doesn't stay active all day, it doesn't drain your battery, and it barely uses any data. It's as light and eco-friendly as checking your messages. This is a game changer. By design, Pi Network is energy efficient, and that makes it accessible and sustainable. It's built for a future where we care about the environment and want to include more people in the global financial system, not just those who can afford high-end computer hardware. In other words, Bitcoin may have been the fire that started the cryptocurrency revolution, but Pi is like solar power, cleaner, smarter, and built for long-term use. The less power we use, the more people can join. And the more people that join, the stronger and fairer the network becomes. So if you care about the planet, or just want something that doesn't burn a hole in your pocket, Pi makes a lot more sense. Let's talk about one of the most powerful ideas behind Pi Network: accessibility. Bitcoin started with a dream of giving financial power back to the people. But over time, it became harder and harder for the average person to be part of it. Why? Because today, mining Bitcoin requires expensive computers and advanced skills. It's mostly controlled by large companies or very rich people who can afford huge mining farms. If you're just a regular person with a phone and a limited budget, it's nearly impossible to compete. That's not very fair, is it? Now think about Pi Network. Pi turns that idea on its head by asking a simple question. What if anyone, anywhere, could be part of building a new digital economy, just by using their phone? And that's exactly what Pi does. You don't need to spend money. You don't need to know computer programming. You don't even need fast internet. All you need is a smartphone and a few seconds each day to tap a button. That's it. And because of that, millions of people all over the world are joining Pi, from students in Africa, to teachers in Asia, to shop owners in South America. These are people who were left out of the Bitcoin revolution, but now finally have a seat at the table. With Pi, we're building a digital currency that is truly for the people, by the people. It rewards you not for how much money you have, but for how much you participate. Invite friends. Help secure the network. Grow the community. It's about contribution, not competition. And most importantly, Pi gives everyone a fair chance. That means you're not too late. You didn't miss the train. You're not shut out because you're not rich or tech-savvy. In a world where opportunity often depends on your zip code or your bank account, Pi is trying to break down those walls. That's why people say Pi isn't just another coin. It's a movement. So when we talk about why Pi might be better than Bitcoin, fairness and accessibility are at the heart of the story. Let's now talk about something really important. What can you actually do with a digital currency? You see, Bitcoin is often called digital gold. That sounds impressive, right? But think about gold. You can't exactly walk into a store and buy lunch with a gold bar. It just sits there, collecting value, hopefully. Bitcoin works the same way for most people. You buy it, hold it, and maybe sell it years later. It's more like an investment than money. In fact, you can't really use Bitcoin in everyday life. At least not easily. Transactions take time, fees can be high, and it's not accepted in most places. That's where Pi Network is doing something very different and far more useful. From day one, Pi has been designed to actually be used in the real world. You can use Pi to buy products and services in the Pi ecosystem, like in the Pi Mall, or within Pi apps and mini marketplaces created by the community. People are already trading things like clothes, electronics, books, even haircuts and car repairs using Pi. And this is just the beginning. Think about this. When you earn Pi, you're not just collecting digital points. You're earning something that you can spend, trade, or use in your daily life. That's the whole point of currency. Even more exciting? Businesses and app developers are building tools and platforms that accept Pi as payment. That means one day you might use Pi to pay for dinner, buy a movie ticket, subscribe to a streaming service, book a hotel, donate to a cause. Pi is creating its own digital economy, powered by real people, with real needs, doing real transactions. And all of this is happening without needing a bank account or credit card. That's huge for people in places where financial systems are limited or unfair. While Bitcoin may be treated like digital gold for the rich, Pi is designed to be digital cash for everyone. Simple, fast, and usable in everyday life. So the next time someone asks, "What's the point of Pi?" the answer is easy. To be used, to be spent, to power real communities. One of the most revolutionary ideas behind Pi Network is mobile mining. Now wait, when people hear the word mining, they usually imagine massive warehouses filled with rows of noisy, overheating computers. And they're not wrong. That's what Bitcoin mining looks like today. But let's take a step back. Why does mining even exist in crypto? It's to help run and secure the network. When you mine, you're doing the work that keeps a cryptocurrency alive. With Bitcoin, that work involves solving insanely complex math puzzles that use up lots of electricity and require expensive machines. That means only a tiny number of people, mostly big mining companies, actually run the Bitcoin network. Now compare that with Pi. Pi takes a totally new and smart approach. Instead of making people buy special machines and burn electricity, Pi says, what if we let anyone contribute to the network, just by using their phone? And it works. When you tap the Mine button in the Pi app once a day, you're helping maintain trust in the network. You're part of a community that verifies users are real, safe, and human, not bots or fake accounts. That's how the Pi network grows stronger. And the best part? Your phone doesn't stay on all day. It doesn't use battery. It doesn't overheat or slow down. You just tap the button and you're in. That makes mining simple and accessible for anyone, anywhere. Whether you live in a big city or a small village, whether you're rich or struggling, whether you're 20 or 70. This is how Pi is redefining decentralization. It's not just about having thousands of computers. It's about having millions of people. People who are actively participating in the network every day by mining, securing, and growing it, without needing to understand complicated technology or invest thousands of dollars. This is what true decentralization should look like: diverse, global, and inclusive. Bitcoin started the idea. Pi is finishing the mission by making decentralization something you can be part of. Now let's talk about something very special about Pi Network. Something Bitcoin never really had: a strong, connected community built right into the foundation. Bitcoin was launched quietly by an anonymous person, and while that mystery made it exciting, it also made it hard to build real human trust. Over time, Bitcoin turned into a system run mostly by tech experts, investors, and mining companies, not by everyday people. But Pi was built from the beginning with a completely different mindset. Instead of just code and computers, Pi is built on people, on real human connections, social trust, and mutual support. When you join Pi, you're not just mining coins. You're also forming a small team of trusted people called a security circle. Your friends, family, or coworkers who you know are real, honest users. Why is that important? Because this system helps Pi stay secure without needing massive computer power. It's like saying, I trust these people and they trust me. That network of trust becomes the foundation of Pi's security. In other words, trust replaces hardware. People replace machines. This is a beautiful idea, and it's something Bitcoin never did. In fact, Bitcoin mining has zero social interaction. It's just machines solving math problems alone in data centers. But Pi encourages you to invite friends, to talk, to teach, to help each other grow. And as millions of people do this across the world, the result is more than just a network. It's a global movement of like-minded individuals who believe in creating something better together. The developers of Pi, real people with names and faces, communicate openly with the community. There are Pi chats, social media groups, events, and developer communities in nearly every country. You feel like you belong, like your voice matters. That's powerful. Because the real value of any currency isn't just in the technology. It's in the people who believe in it and use it. Pi puts people first. Bitcoin puts machines first. And in a future where connection, cooperation, and trust matter more than ever, that might just make all the difference. Let's take a moment to talk about something that affects all of us: the planet we live on. You've probably heard people say Bitcoin uses a lot of electricity. But just how much are we talking about? Believe it or not, the Bitcoin network uses more energy than some entire countries. That's right. Just to keep it running, it consumes more power than Argentina, Sweden, or the Netherlands. Why? Because Bitcoin mining involves solving extremely complex math problems. And to do that, people build warehouses full of super powerful computers. These machines run 24/7 and use tons of electricity. Now imagine millions of these machines, all running at once, just to confirm transactions or mine coins. It's like building a city-sized power plant just to keep a spreadsheet going. This isn't just expensive, it's also harmful to the environment. More electricity means more fossil fuels burned, more carbon released, and more heat trapped in our atmosphere. This contributes to climate change, and it's one of the big criticisms against Bitcoin. But Pi Network takes a completely different path. Instead of relying on giant machines, Pi runs on your phone, with almost no extra energy use. You tap a button once a day and that's it. No heat, no fans, no noise, no pollution. You can mine Pi while walking, while reading, even while your phone is in your pocket or on the charger. So what does that mean in simple terms? It means you can help build the future of money without harming the future of the earth. That's huge. We live in a time when every choice we make, from the cars we drive to the apps we use, affects the planet. And Pi gives us a green, sustainable way to participate in cryptocurrency without guilt. No wasted energy, no massive carbon footprint, just people, connected through trust, building something better together. So while Bitcoin is still stuck in an energy-hungry past, Pi is leading the way toward a cleaner, smarter future. Let's talk about fairness, because if you've ever felt like you're too late to join something, this chapter is for you. When Bitcoin first started in 2009, almost nobody knew about it. The few people who mined back then earned thousands, sometimes millions, of Bitcoin for practically nothing. Today, those early adopters are the richest Bitcoin holders in the world. But for everyone else, the door is kind of closed. Mining Bitcoin now requires expensive machines, huge electricity bills, and technical know-how. Most of the rewards are already taken. In fact, studies show that more than 80% of Bitcoin is controlled by just a small group of wallets. That's not very decentralized, is it? It's like the gold rush. The people who got there early grabbed most of the gold, and now everyone else is left fighting over crumbs. But Pi Network was designed specifically to avoid that problem. Here's how. Pi started by allowing anyone to mine using just their phone, so you didn't need money or tech skills to join. It rewarded early users, yes, but with gradually decreasing rewards over time to make things fair. It added bonus systems to encourage people to invite others and build secure communities. And it plans to cap supply, just like Bitcoin, but with much wider ownership across millions of people. The goal? To create a digital currency that's actually owned by the people who use it, not just a few early whales. So even if you join Pi today, you still have a real chance to mine, earn, and participate. And as Pi becomes more useful for payments, apps, games, and more, your Pi will have more and more value in the real world. This is how you build a fair economy from the ground up. No expensive machines, no rich insiders, just everyday people building wealth together. And that's a powerful idea, one that could change the future of finance forever. Now here's a question many people ask. Okay, Pi sounds cool, but what can I actually do with it? And that's a very important question. Because the value of any currency, whether it's digital or paper, comes from how useful it is. If people can't use it, they won't want it. If they don't want it, it's worth nothing. This is one of the biggest challenges Bitcoin faces today. Yes, Bitcoin is famous. Yes, it's expensive. But in your everyday life, can you use Bitcoin to buy coffee, pay rent, shop online, play games? Not really. Most people just buy Bitcoin to hold it and hope it goes up. It's like digital gold, valuable, but not very useful. But Pi Network is building something very different. Instead of waiting until it's valuable, Pi is building real utility now. While the network is still growing. Let's take a look at what's already happening in the Pi ecosystem. There are Pi-powered apps that let you play games, get services, or buy products, all using Pi as currency. There are marketplaces where users trade goods like clothes, electronics, or food for Pi, directly with each other. There are developers building tools, games, and services specifically for the Pi platform. There's even a hackathon where teams compete to create the best apps using Pi. And this isn't just for fun, it's part of a big vision, to create a complete digital economy where Pi is the fuel. So instead of being just another coin that sits in your wallet, Pi becomes something you actually use every day. Buy a meal, hire a designer, join a community, pay for software, donate to a cause, all powered by Pi. And here's the best part. Because Pi is mobile first and designed for mass adoption, it's easier to use in real-life situations, especially in places where banking and finance systems are limited. That means people in developing countries can access the global economy in a way they never could before, all through their phone. No bank account, no problem, no credit card, no worries, just Pi, trust, and community. So when we ask, why is Pi better than Bitcoin? This is a big reason. Pi is being used. Bitcoin is mostly being held. Utility beats hype. Real-world impact beats speculation. People using a currency is what makes it valuable, and Pi is already showing the way. Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. Bitcoin was the beginning, the first spark that lit the fire of decentralized money. It proved that we don't need banks to control our money. It showed us what's possible when code meets community. But Bitcoin was also born in a very different world. Back in 2009, only a few believed in cryptocurrency. Mining was easy but misunderstood. Phones were less powerful. The idea of digital payments was still new. Fast forward to today. Billions of people now have smartphones. Digital apps have replaced cash in many places. People want freedom, privacy, and control over their finances. But they also want simplicity, fairness, and real-world use. This is where Pi comes in. It takes the core ideas of Bitcoin, decentralization, limited supply, no middlemen, and adds something powerful: access for everyone, mobile-first design, community-driven growth, built-in utility and apps. A real shot at financial inclusion. Pi isn't here to compete with Bitcoin in terms of price charts or headlines. It's here to solve a different problem. How do we bring billions of ordinary people into the world of crypto without the barriers, the complexity, and the cost? The answer: build a network that grows with people, not against them. And that's what Pi is doing. So, is Pi better than Bitcoin? In some ways, yes. Not because it's richer or older, but because it's more inclusive, more useful, and more focused on the future, not just the past. Bitcoin opened the door. Pi is inviting everyone in. And that's why Pi may not just be another coin. It could be the beginning of the next generation of digital economy, built by the people, for the people. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with other pioneers. And if you're new to Pi Network and want to join, check the pinned comment below for my referral link and get started. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.